It's race day at the Cardinals Care 5K, and it's going to be a beautiful morning. I'm excited to be here, and I'm going to take you with me. Put your race bib on, and let's have fun. So this race is put on by Cardinals Care. They're a not-for-profit that's part of the St. Louis Cardinals. And this race has raised up to this point about $35,000. And that money benefits local charities, and the Cardinals Care does a lot for St. Louis and raising money and donating it to many of these St. Louis charities. The race is going to be starting soon, but while there's still time, let's take a walk and enjoy another rich tradition involving Cardinals baseball. Just outside the stadium are statues of some of the historic players that have played throughout the years for the Cardinals. If you're a baseball fan, you've probably heard of some of these names, and the Cardinals have gone to great lengths to celebrate the achievements of these players. People like Rogers Hornsby, George Sisler, Dizzy Dean, Enos Slaughter, Red Shandies, Stan the Man Musial, Ozzie Smith, Bob Gibson, Lou Brock, James Bell, who played in the Negro Leagues. I hope you enjoyed that walk down memory lane, but you know, race time is fast approaching, and I've not warmed up yet, and I need to get stretched out and get my muscles warmed up so that I can be ready to race. So let me get that taken care of, and we'll come back and get ready for the start. Remember my pictures from earlier? Weren't many people around, but we've got about 2,000 or more people here now. Here's the start line. See a lot of the blue race shirts people are wearing. And the race is about 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes away from starting. So, ready to get this going. And warm up, because it's still really cold, especially in the shadows. If you remember the shot from earlier, this front gate here, we're too many people around, and now it's absolutely packed. So we're going to get started. We're going to get lined up here and go out and have a good time. Well, I'm back, and that was so much fun. So we left Busch Stadium, and at about the halfway point, so around 1.5 miles, is the new St. Louis City soccer team stadium. And we ran around a portion of that, and then on the return, on the way, was the Sava Center, which is where the St. Louis Blues hockey team plays. So we circled a portion of that venue and then hit Market Street, which is a main thoroughfare through St. Louis, and returned to Busch. And I really enjoyed the event. And as you can see, there's a lot of other people that are finishing. And now we get to tour around the Busch Stadium playing field, and you get to go with me. We're going to head through the gates, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. I start to wrap this up, there's a couple other iconic figures in Cardinals history that I'd be remiss if I didn't mention in just a little bit more detail. The first is Jack Buck. Jack was renowned for his broadcasting skills and his versatility between calling football and baseball games. Before I tell you about this next person, we're going to move across the street to Ballpark Village. And this is a favorite place for fans of any sport to gather and to not only eat, but maybe have a cold beverage and watch a game. The next person I'm going to talk about is Stan Musial. And Stan has a special place in my heart because I actually was fortunate enough to meet him. I have a baseball bat that's my 3000 hit club bat. So there was a sports card memorabilia show, and it just so happened that Stan was there signing autographs. Such an amazing experience. He signed my bat, and I'll never forget, because as soon as he signed my bat, he looked up at me and he said, "Son, be careful because this will smudge." And it reminded me of my own grandfather. As you can tell, I miss him today. But Stan was so kind, and it was such a neat experience, a unique experience, and it's something I'll never forget. Okay, I've got a few closing comments on this event, but first, Clint Eastwood is going to take us home with the good, the bad, and the ugly. So this is the 4th year for the Cardinals 5K. 2 of the events have been in person. The other 2 were COVID years, so they didn't have an in-person event. For me, this was my first year doing it. And like I've mentioned several other times in the video, I absolutely loved it. I had a blast. And I think what I like the most about it is it's something for everybody. You know, whether you're young, you're old, you're a runner, you're a walker, there's something that anybody can enjoy with this event. But first and foremost, this is for charity. And, you know, in the end, it's Cardinals Care that ends up winning because the money they raise, as I mentioned earlier, supports a lot of different charities throughout the St. Louis area. So it's a great opportunity to support charity. But if you're a sports fan, this is a must-do event. There's not many opportunities where you can actually go down on the playing field and enjoy what those sights and experience what it's like to look around the field, the skyline of St. Louis, and be able to see it from a different perspective from being in the stands. But the other thing I've got to say too is the course. The course was laid out extremely well because you also get to experience 2 other venues. You start, you finish at Busch Stadium, but you also, at the halfway mark, you're running around the St. Louis soccer team stadium, and then about half a mile or so later, you're running around the stadium where the St. Louis Blues play. So, you know, all in all, it's a sports fans' mecca. So there really was nothing bad or nothing ugly from my perspective. If there was anything, it's the fact that the weather was really, really chilly. But, you know, it's April, and just about anything is going to happen weather-wise in April. So you kind of have to expect that and embrace it and deal with it. So I will definitely do this event again, and I hope that you will also, if you haven't done it, that you'll think about doing it next year, because I promise you, you'll have a lot of fun. You won't regret being out there with all the other Cardinals fans. Even though I'm a White Sox fan, it was still a lot of fun. Hope you've enjoyed this video, that maybe you've had as much fun watching it as I did participating in the event. Please consider giving us a like and maybe subscribing to the channel. Linda and I have several more adventures that are planned later this year, and we'd love to take you with us. So in the meantime, take care of yourself, stay safe, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.